So I am starting 15 seconds before time on my live, and I'm very happy about being punctual. But the reality is also that with the lockdown coming, I think this nightly live will become a lot more frequent as ever and get time because 10 p.m. I am on Arnab Goswami's debate on COVID. But this is not about COVID. This is about a situation. This is about an occurrence which happened in France, which is leading to a civil war situation in Pakistan. Yes, you got it right. Our media is busy in COVID. Pakistan media has been told not to cover it by an official government order. So, what is it which happened in France which can lead to police people being kidnapped? You heard it right. Policemen being kidnapped, police stations being attacked, mayhem and violence on the street, flowing from something which didn't happen in Pakistan, which happened in France. I would discuss that for all of you who do not know what is happening because it's our neighbor, and not only is it our neighbor, relationships between India, Pakistan situations, you know it all. So, why is a civil war like situation happening in Pakistan? Those watching for the first time can like and subscribe and join in the what would I think would be a daily life during the lockdown. So, what exactly happened? In October, the start. In October in France, a school teacher named Mr. Samuel Paty was doing a class on free speech. During that speech, he brought out certain material which lot of Muslims found as blasphemy. You remember about the Charlie Hebdo cartoons? Charlie Hebdo cartoons had led to the violence and led to the terror attack. Same thing happened in this case. He brought something which many in the Muslim world consider as blasphemy against their prophet Muhammad. And this Samuel Paty was later killed by an extremist. This happened in France. What happened afterwards is that the president of France and the civil society of France all came together, led by the president, saying that France has free speech. That in our free speech, you can show such things, you can depict such things. They also said, the civil society there said, we often make fun, even satire of Christianity, which is their religion. And this is a part of democracy and part of free speech. And we would support it. So the French president came in the side of the school teacher who was unfortunately killed. This is happening in France. And the debate on blasphemy, the reaction to blasphemy, whether that extremism, how to curb it, that is all a debate for a separate day. This is just a factual thing of what happened in France. Immediately after that, Turkey started calling for a complete boycott of French products. And now I come to Pakistan. So a school teacher in France on a class on free speech does this presentation. He is killed for blasphemy by a person who thinks that is the thing to do for blasphemy. And fundamentalist, a terrorist, an extremist, whatever you want to call him. But how does Pakistan get involved in it? And why do I say it's becoming a situation of civil war in Pakistan? Because a group in Pakistan called TLP, Tehreek-e-Labak Pakistan, that starts protest saying that you throw out the French ambassador. So the foreign policy of a government, this group wants to dictate. And the situation in Pakistan is so ridiculous that the government enters into a discussion with this TLP. And in November, the government of Imran Khan with this extremist demand to throw out an ambassador of a foreign country, enters into an agreement with this TLP saying we will throw out by February the ambassador to Pakistan from France. Does it stop there? No. The government later says we will do it in April. Now I pause here. So you know the background, you know the history. April, it looks like the government is not doing. And I again say this is a group with which the government is entering negotiations on what to do on diplomacy. Then, on April 12th, they arrest the chairman, head, chief, call it whatever you would, of this TLP because he is threatening to launch agitations throughout Pakistan, especially in Lahore and Rawalpindi. They are basically based there. And now you have to see some of the visuals. I would show it to you. And let me just say for a second that on 15th April, they banned TLP as a terror organization. So somebody you were discussing with, negotiating with in November, signing an agreement with, you call now suddenly a terror organization and you arrest its chief. Does that calm the situation? Quite the opposite. That flares up the situation. And you can see some of the things of how it flares it up. One brief video of a protest being carried out. Can you see it? This is a protest which started being carried out after his arrest. Let's stop that because there are many other such videos. Instead of dying down, this becomes even bigger. Let's share this. Read this. TLP mob attacks police station, holds personal hostage. This is what I talked about. They attack a police station and they hold people hostage. Ahead. 12 policemen taken hostage. 5 killed. I don't know, civilians or police people, because here I bring you another fact. The Pakistani media and social media has been told not to cover it. They have been told not to cover it because this is how serious it is. Let's see ahead. DSP, which is a senior officer, DSP has been taken over, hostage, and been tortured. That's the news which is coming, that the DSP has been taken hostage and has been tortured by this organization called TLP. Can you imagine in a country where the police people are taken hostage and kidnapped and tortured, and then a statement came that an oil tanker with 50,000 liters of oil, 50,000 liters of petrol has also been taken over and taken to their headquarters, and they are arming themselves with petrol bombs. Well, they have limitless supply of oil, petrol it seems, and they're attacking that. Now in this, as I said, now let's go back to France. A normal citizen of France would not even know about this, would not even care about it, would not bother about it. And Pakistan is imploding itself, kidnapping police officers, losing lives, throwing bombs on what? Which the France doesn't even care about. And see the level of extremism and see the level of breakdown of law and order that the government enters into negotiations and says we will throw out the French ambassador. It obviously cannot do it. How does it do it? Diplomatic relationships will go for a toss. Violence starts, they arrest, and now mayhem, kidnapping of police officers has started happening. Does it end there? Nope. France now says it has withdrawn 15 diplomatic people from its embassy back to France. It's given an advisory to its people to please come back to France. Any citizen there for tourism or business, tourism, the COVID time, I don't think so is happening much. They have sent it back. Does it stop there? Absolutely doesn't stop there also. Because this is what you have to see now. Just see this. Yep. I think this is the one. Let me see. Yes, can you see? Now, after a lot of negotiations, they release the police people, and you see the head injuries. Can you see head injury 1? Sitting is the head injury 2, must be the DSP, I presume. Head injury, head injury, head injury, head injury, head injury. Tortured, beaten with head injuries. The police people. Police people. And how were they released? Again by negotiations. This is how strong that these fringe organizations are, that by negotiations they are releasing. They tried to attack the headquarters, and that is why I said media will not cover it in Pakistan, because they have been told not to cover it, because this TLP has a lot of support. Lot of support. And I will not be surprised, between you and me, I will not be surprised if the chief whom they arrested in April 12th, they have to release him. So social media ban on this. Media ban on this. What is our PM doing? I am not talking about COVID, but I will answer this. I've personally told you I am not in favor of any big events. That's a personal view. But anyways, let me now come straight to the topic. With this now, and I am going on a COVID debate at 10 p.m. on Arnab Goswami debate. If you people want to watch it, please watch it. And those who want to hear in depth on any topic can subscribe and like this channel. So, situation has become thus. Media won't cover it, social media won't cover it. A terrorist organization, which Pakistan itself has called terrorist and banned, will decide their diplomatic, their foreign policy, and will enter into agreement. Lot of people here are saying karma, 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 karma for all the misdeeds Pakistan has done in India. And misdeed is a very polite word. Well, it is karma, but there is also another view which says Pakistan there is a movement of Sindh independence, there is a movement of Baloch independence, there is a movement of scattering it into multiple parts, and you have this extremist movement, and then you have an army, and then you have so-called civilian government. So let's see what else happens. So today I felt this is an important topic to share with all of you, so that you know what the situation in Pakistan is. And tomorrow, let's see, whatever is an important, interesting topic, I will come and talk about it. Thank you. Good night.